Well, how old are you?
I'm 28.
What's your first name?
Oki. It's short for Okechukwu.
Okay, well, what are women getting wrong?
Um, Women are. First of all, I just want to say I love your show. Been watching you since January, and you're doing God's work out here.
Appreciate it.
What women are doing wrong is I feel like a lot of women are impatient. So basically, women want a man to have it now. Everything women don't want to like wait or build with a man. They kind of just want the man to do all the hard work on his own, and then they kind of just want the benefits. So I feel like if women can just kind of just be patient and like learn to build with a man,
What does
that
be patient mean?
being patient is basically I think women should value a man off of potential. So like let's say
Hold on, hold on. I want to be clear. Women should value a man off of potential. How do you evaluate potential?
like visual potential. So basically, let's say if a woman's dating uh, a 5-star recruit high school basketball player, but he's not in the NBA yet.
Yeah, well, I don't care about all that. I talk about regular men. I'm
Okay,
talking about
well,
now.
let's say she's dating the valedictorian for the high school, and he got a scholarship to Harvard, but he's not making money yet. Like that's what I mean, like date on potential.
So,
And a lot of women,
if you were a father, you condone turning your daughter over to a man strictly on potential.
if it's valid potential, then yes.
No, potential is potential. You don't know if it's valid until it becomes outcome. Your baby girl that you've raised, you protected, you've kept chaste, you kept her off the stripper pole. You turn her over to a man based strictly on his potential.
Yes, if it's valid potential, then yes.
Again, so give us valid potential.
For
See what
example,
I'm see what I mean is guys are often we'll often say women need to be more patient. I agree. But when you say that they need to evaluate men off of potential, I'm listening. But you got to give some assurances. Potential offers no assurances. How do you make, you say valid potential? Well, how do you validate something that comes with no assurances?
that's what I'm saying. Like a high value man has to start out from somewhere. So women have to be able to see that before he becomes high value. And I feel if a lot of women did that, a lot of women can get these guys that they actually want instead of trying to get them when they're already high value and their standards are really high. I'll give you an example. With me, I'm 28. I'm in my last year of medical school. I'll be a physician, anesthesiologist next year. So a lot of women actually are valuing me because they see that okay, he's in his last year of medical school. He has good board score. He's smart. So I can see that he's going to be a high value man. So
No,
if
a high earning man.
I, well,
I make a distinction between high value and high earning. Those aren't the same. Go
okay,
ahead. Go
true.
ahead.
So um, the high value part can come. I understand. Yeah, you're the the six.
There are a lot of guys that make money who are not very valuable. But you're still saying that women should evaluate on the man of potential. Okay, but you got to give some parameters. All potential, because okay, um, are you from? If you're familiar with the oil industry,
a little bit.
where okay, well, oil is found in certain places throughout the country. Just because you go drill for oil in Texas, because there's oil adjacent to the land, doesn't mean you're going to hit. But you still got to invest money. You got to be able to define potential. Okay, a guy who's going to medical school, going to become an anesthesiologist. All right, but that's a very small subset of men.
It is. So what about a woman that basically
I'm not disagreeing with being more patient and evaluating on potential, but the problem I have with potential is women could easily flip it up and say, I'm 300 pounds, but I'm working out now. You should marry me on the potential that I'm going to lose weight.
That is true, but it has to be valid potential. So I have to see her in the gym. I have to see her in strict diet. I have to see. I'm not saying that I would date a woman like that, but I'm
So
saying
are most okay? So if a man becomes a doctor, all right, that means he makes good money. What about the man he is though? I mean, see, there's more to potential than just money. And see, what I'm trying to get you to understand is not trying to make every guy be you. You got to understand the market. How are you selling your potential? Because here's the problem I have with a lot of guys today. A lot of guys today think just because I make money, I should have all the options. Because I'm more educated, because I have these degrees, I should have all the options. That ain't how it works. You still got to sell yourself. I run into more upset, angry, frustrated guys who are STEM guys because they may be accomplished in their career fields, but they lack EQ, social skills, the ability to actually interact and get along in a social setting. But then they lament women, but they want women to pick up them on their potential.
that's true. But
So, so
that
just
brings
like
your,
women needed, so if you want women to be patient, fair, but I want you to ask about if this is your daughter, a man's potential. If he's a young man, yeah. So here's the thing: you're 60 years old, 55, 60 years old. Your daughter is coming to you as a graduate from college, and she finds a guy who is 2 years older than her, and he is planning on going to medical school to become a surgeon. Okay? But he still has many more years of schooling left. Then there's a 40-year-old man who's already established in his career, already the quote unquote high earning man, has the resume. Which one are you going to suggest your daughter go to? The guy that's 2 years older or the guy that's 17 years older?
that's a very difficult question
Why?
because it varies. It varies on her preferences as well.
No, it's about potential. Who has the greater potential?
Not sure.
One guy
Well,
is one guy has potential, one guy has outcomes.
mhm.
But see, you're stuck on an age. But see, women have to make choices based upon men who can actually deliver on more than just potential, because you would not want your daughter to be with somebody who was not secure, rich or not. He needs to be at least be secure.
Mhm.
So when you waver on that 17-year argument, why? What's the problem with age gap dating?
Well, that just kind of gives you like a bimodal distribution. So all the young guys are going to be lacking quality women, and all the older guys are going to be having all the quality women.
So that's how
So
the
it's
world. Well, like it or not, that's how it is anyway. Okay, outside of our country, age gap dating is far more the norm. They think we're weird here for having young men who are all potential dating women who are at the height of uh, their ability. If you've listened to any women that call in from South America, Brazil, Argentina, um, the norm is dating men who are older. See, what we're trying to do is we're trying to make your potential and a young woman's potential be the same thing. And your potential is higher later. Hers is now. She needs to sell to the highest bidder now.
But I don't think it has to be black and white. Like it could be like a gray area, like, based on how far the person is. It doesn't have to be. It's the difference between, oh, your first year in medical school and your last year in medical school, you're about to graduate. If he just started, then maybe maybe choose the older guy that's already established. But if he's
So the
his
problem,
last year and
so the ultimate problem is what life comes down to being very black and white. You can only pick one person. So I'm asking you about potential. and you're telling women to make a choice off potential, but you see how you're having a difficult time defining that. Basically, you're saying they should marry men like me.
They should have valid potential, though. Valid potential. Like,
But okay, valid potential means what? Valid to whom? Just because
to
you graduate medical school does
the
not. Hold up.
majority.
Okay, just because you could graduate medical school, right? Does that guarantee you're going to become an anesthesiologist and become financially stable? You still got to pass medical boards and stuff, right?
Yes, you do, but that's what I'm
So
saying.
if you're a woman, one man is already established. You see, this is why I need you guys to understand the choices we're asking women to make. One guy is established and has the outcome. Another guy has potential. Man, come on, be reasonable. You know that it would be a smarter thing to take the guy who already has the outcome.
Yeah,
And here's the problem. The guys with the potential need to do a better job marketing the potential because the world isn't. Who's
but
okay? Okay.
but which one does she have the highest success rate in getting?
The guy who already is established. That's why older men with the resources trump younger men with potential every day.
But he's gonna have more options.
Like it. Okay, stop right there and breathe. You can't just go past that
True, true.
because one. My potential is here. Yeah, and I got $10 million in the bank, and I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. Again, I'm not disputing potential. It just has to be who's evaluating potential, and that's the problem. Because oftentimes when guys are talking about potential, they're talking about themselves, and it becomes a sales question. How are you selling your potential? I am a good investment long term. By me, I am Google in 2005. Get me before I go up. I am Microsoft before we go public. Granted, but for every Microsoft, there's a micro turf. Whose job is it to market that potential?
It's the public, the or your peers.
No, it's the person who wants their potential being evaluated. You go to the bank, you go to angel investors. The amount of money that they're going to give you, loan you, whatever, is directly tied to the potential and how good you make the deal seem. But there still has to be a mix of both. See, it's not either or, it's and. Potential is fine. You keep saying valid potential, but who's doing the validating?
Her, she would be.
And that's the problem. Because that's the problem. She's doing the validating. And I agree. I think younger women should look at guys who have potential, but this is why the whole high value thing is so important.
I have one more.
The whole thing about not being high value, because if men recognize your potential see, right now we have individuals choosing individuals. No one's signing off on anybody. It used to be that if you came to my house to see my daughter, I had to meet you. My wife would have to meet you. I'd have to know your people. I'm going to run your background. Then I will have a much better understanding of who you are versus on just your resume. That's valid potential. But right now we don't have that. But the fact of the matter is, what do we use to give women to validate their potential since that's removed? Because that's the way it's been for the longest. Because we as men, you got to understand, we as men, we don't have the same clock they do, right? They got between the
Yeah.
first time of their cycle and a few years and 35 before a lot of things happen. So
Yes.
I agree, potential. But just as I agree, potential, you got to market that potential. You can't just say, I'm in medical school. It has to be something else, active marketing.
Okay. Okay.
Because, go ahead.
So I was going to give you a scenario. So let's say there is a 40-year-old well-established physician and you have a daughter and you know him, but let's say I'm dating your daughter and where I am right now, I'll be a physician in 8 months. So, but she really likes me. So would you say, hey, don't date this guy, date this 40-year-old guy, I know he's already established? Or would you kind of be like, hey, work with this guy has
That's not the
potential?
scenario I gave you. I said she was seeing them both.
Okay, she's seen them both. Let's put it that way.
She's seeing them both. I tell her to go with the 40-year-old guy. And you would too if you were a father.
Okay, but so what?
No,
what
no, no,
about,
no, no, no. And you would too if you were a father. Because potential is great. But are you a sports fan?
Yes, sir.
What's your favorite sport?
Basketball.
Basketball?
Yes, sir.
Sam Bowie had a lot of potential. He was drafted high. He was drafted above Michael Jordan, right?
I think I remember that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even remember who Sam Bowie is, but you do know who Michael Jordan is. And you didn't watch him play.
Mm-hmm.
Potential is wasted every day. I went to the University of Oklahoma, and I saw lots of guys who run fast, and lots of potential wasted every day. And if you had a daughter, or I don't want to say if you're a female, but if you were a father and your daughter, the smart bet would go with the guy you can verify what he's done.
Yeah, but where does that put the young guys that are
Competing? I don't care about that. Compete, young man. Wait your turn. How about that? Wait.
Okay.
Starve. Eat scraps. Wait your turn, youngster. Or knuckle up and fight.